What's up guys, and welcome back to Soft Knowledge Solutions. And today we talk about Call of Duty Warzone Season 1 Reloaded and the best settings you can use right now at this very moment. For all users out there, doesn't matter if you're running a low-end machine, medium-end machine, to a high-end machine, to a nuclear machine, launching a nuclear machine, it doesn't matter what you are running. Today I'm going to be showing you the best settings you can use right now, and yes, there is a setting in this game to make your game run way better. Now, all you're going to need to do is follow my video from the beginning to the end of my video. I'm kind of sick, ladies and gentlemen, so just bear that in mind with my voice. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, let's jump straight into this video. Let's make it short, sweet, and simple. Alright, let's jump straight into it. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not going to make this video too long. I'm a little bit sick, if you can hear it by my voice. If my voice does cut out or whatever the case might be, I am a bit sick and recovering from it. But I have been doing a lot of research for you guys to have the best settings for this game right now for Season 1 Reloaded. So just follow my guidelines and you should be good to go. Alright, so we are in the display tab right now, and I highly recommend using full screen borderless if you are running multiple screens like me. You're going to go with full screen exclusive if you are running one screen, like a monitor or dedicated screen like a laptop display. And then you get the windowed mode. This is for people out there that's rocking very low-end machines, like low-end graphics cards, low-end CPUs, maybe like very low speed times on your RAM. You can go with windowed mode and you can change the resolution of your game to get a smoother gameplay experience. Alright, I just don't want to make this video too long. Let me just put that out there and point that out there. This is the best for one dedicated monitor. You can also get away with multiple monitors on this one over here. Full screen exclusive. Full screen exclusive actually gives you less input latency, so go with it. I go with full screen borderless. I don't get input latency at all because I run multiple screens, and this is why I use this option. Alright, let's jump straight into the next step. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so the next step is this one over here, the aspect ratio. I do play my game at 16:9. I've always been playing my game like this, and I highly recommend actually playing your game like this. It's a competitive way of playing the game. Now, ladies and gentlemen, yet again, I'm sorry, but I'm sick as shit. Like, fuck, I'm trying to recover as much as I can, but I'm still here making FPS boost guide videos for the best gameplay possible that you guys can have. But right now, this very moment, like I said, go 16:9 is the best. And if you don't know what screen you are running, maybe you're running a gaming monitor that is like ultra wide or whatever the case might be, then just go with automatic and Call of Duty will automatically pick up what screen you're running. But I do recommend 16:9 for people out there that wants a competitive advantage. Go with 16:9. It's the best one you can use right now at this very moment. And just in general, 16:9 has always been one of the best ways of running the screen's aspect ratio. Right, from here we're going to skip this one over here and we're going to come back to this, and you're going to come to display gamma. I highly recommend putting this at 2.2 if you're running this on a monitor, just an ordinary monitor or ordinary screen. Go 2.2. If you're running a gaming monitor like an ultra wide that has like, I don't know, 500 hertz or 240 hertz, and it has like digital vibrance and G-Sync and FreeSync and stuff like that, you can go at 2.4 over here. It makes the gamma of the game look way better. This is why I have this selected, but I would recommend for your ordinary people. But yet again, at your own personal preference, go 2.2 if you're running a normal screen. Alright, then your brightness, it is your own personal preference here, but I do recommend pushing this up a little bit above 60%. Or you could go 55 to 60 to 65. Just don't push it up too much. If you push it up too much, it makes your game look washed out and it makes it look really bad. Don't overdo this, ladies and gentlemen. Alright. Reflex low latency plays a very big role in your game. Now, this is a very good pointer for you guys, is this. If your game automatically put this on, leave it on. If it automatically went to go ahead and put it on plus boost, leave it on plus boost. Because the game will automatically pick up if you have a better CPU than a GPU, or if you have a better GPU than a CPU. You get my point. Just use the eyeballs that you were given when you were born, that's currently in the sockets of your face, and put it right here and read what the fuck this does. And then you just use what you need to use inside here. What I do recommend is just using the one that was already selected for you and leave it there and you should be good to go. All right. Eco mode preset, custom, VSync menus. Alright, so this is VSync for gameplay, and then you get menus. I would recommend just leaving this off completely unless you're getting screen tearing, or unless you want to cap your FPS to the refresh rate or hertz of your monitor. So let's say you have a 60 hertz monitor, you'll only do 60 FPS. I've had comments down below of people asking me, yo dude, I'm only doing 60 FPS on a 4090. That is maybe because you have a 60 hertz screen and you went to go ahead and put this at 100%. Do not choose any other thing over here, because who wants to like VSync half their game at 50%? VSync it fully at 100% if you want to VSync your game. Then it will do the refresh rate of your screen. So the hertz of your screen. So if you have a 60 hertz, you'll do 60 FPS max. So if you have a way better screen than that, so let's say 120, 144, then go with this and it will actually help you out with stuttering in the game. But if you're not getting stuttering in the gameplay itself, then just go with off over here and then off in the menus as well. Custom frame rate limit, I've played my game and unlimited and always have and always will, especially also now with Season 1 Reloaded. Now, there is a new little setting that I'm going to show you. It's not new. It's actually not new. It's just not, I didn't prefer it, but I prefer it now. So, stay with me, guys. Stay with me, because there's important things that needs to be changed in this game for you guys to have a better gameplay experience when it comes to Season 1 Reloaded. Yeah, sorry, I'm a little bit sick as fuck. Anyway, so I have mine unlimited. You can go custom here, ladies and gentlemen, and then customize your frame rate limit. So let's say you have a 120 hertz screen. Just go with 120 over here and cap your FPS to 120. Let's say you have a 144 hertz screen. Go to 144. You get my point. All the way out to 500 hertz screens, then you go to 300 over here. That's if you can even reach 500 FPS. I do know that if you use AMD FSR 3 or AMD FSR 1, whatever the case might be, you can push your frames to like 400 FPS while playing the game. It is possible to do so. It is physically possible to do so, even with like not the best of hardware, but you could still get a massive amount of FPS. Now, over here where it says menu custom frame rate limit, this is in the menus, so you can just do the whole 120 again. If your screen is 120, leave it there. And then out of focus mode, this is just 30, just leave it there and you should be good to go. But yet again, this is your own personal preference. I have mine unlimited and will always have mine unlimited. Let it always do unlimited FPS while I'm playing my game, while I'm in the menus, while I'm doing whatever the case might be in my game. Reduce menu render resolution, I have my native, and I highly recommend you leave yours as a native as well. Please do not use any other one over here, just use it at native. Pause game rendering, have this off, and then have this reduce quality when inactive. This is your own personal preference. If you are away from your machine a lot while playing the game, you can have it at 10 minutes, 5 minutes, and it will reduce the quality while you are away from your mouse. Then as soon as you start moving your mouse again, the quality will come back. I feel this is a useless option. Don't get me wrong, I do know why this option's here. It's to basically not let there be a strain on your GPU all the time. But I feel it's useless, because newer GPUs these days can handle a strain. Basically, you can run a graphics card on a bench test for, I don't know, a full year without the PC shutting down with 3D Mark or any benchmarking tool. Just run it at its best, at its highest performance, at a peak, always, and it won't do anything. It won't kill your GPU or anything like that. So, I feel it's a useless option. It's just my opinion. Everyone has their own personal opinion on this, but whatever you want to choose here, go ahead and choose it. I have mine off and I leave it off. Focus mode, 0% of year, and then just go ahead and apply these settings like this. Just say apply. Once you're done applying these settings, you're going to come to the quality tab. Now, right now, at this very moment, ladies and gentlemen, this is the thing that I want you to point out. AMD FSR takes the cake when it comes to Season 1 Reloaded right now. It takes the cake, ladies and gentlemen. The game looks really good at AMD FSR 1, and also you do way more FPS on AMD FSR 1 than what you are doing now at AMD FSR 3. You do way more FPS. Now, yet again, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not going to say like that it's going to be like this for every single person out there, but yeah, most case scenarios, it will be that AMD FSR 1 is the better option right now than AMD FSR 3. But if you feel that your game feels better and runs better at AMD FSR 3, then use AMD FSR 3. Obviously, it's common knowledge. The one that runs better is the one you're going to be using. That's common knowledge, obviously, ladies and gentlemen. But yet again, I play my game at Fidelity FX Cache at 4K resolution, and I do about 120 to 130 FPS while playing the game, whatever I'm playing. Warzone, multiplayer, ranked mode, Black Ops 6, whatever the case might be. I play my game like this. This is how I play it, and my machine runs it perfectly fine. I have a 14700K, I have a 4070 Super, and then I do have 32 gigs of RAM at 6000 megahertz. That's overclocked as well. Ladies and gentlemen, this is how I play my game. Now, for you guys who have a smoother gameplay experience, I would recommend AMD FSR 3 or AMD FSR 1. Yet again, ladies and gentlemen, AMD FSR 1 gives more performance right now with Season 1 Reloaded. Now, if you're getting away with more FPS with FSR 1, AMD FSR 1, go with FSR 1. If you're getting more FPS and your game looks better and feels better for your own personal benefit on FSR 3, then use FSR 3. Common knowledge. The rest over here, ladies and gentlemen, DLSS, you can go ahead and use this if you are running an Nvidia card. Just bear in mind that your screen is going to blur on the left and right hand side while you are running. No one in their right mind is going to play this game by standing still. You are going to be running around. So for the love of fuck, do not choose this option and be like, oh, my game looks like shit, or whatever the case might be. This intends to make your game look blurry on the left and right hand side once you start running. And yet again, like I said, who's going to come into this game and stand dead fucking still? Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, DLA is a bunch of bullshit option. Like, this just makes me want to puke. It makes me even more sick. Anyways, this over here, Nvidia image scaling, I wouldn't recommend any of these right now. Not with Season 1 Reloaded. I wouldn't recommend any of these here at the bottom. What I would recommend is, if you want to use DLSS, and you are using DLSS, and you prefer it, and you are running this, and your game runs perfectly fine, then run this option. If you're using Fidelity FX Cache, then run this option. If you want the best FPS right now at this very moment, it's going to be these two at the top, alright? AMD FSR 3 and AMD FSR 1. Right now, I was testing my game at AMD FSR 1, and it was giving me the best FPS and the best visuals overall on my specific rig, okay? On your specific rig, it might look worse, or it might look even better, or this might be just the best option for you, or it might be the worst option for you, and that's why I say you might be able to just go over to AMD FSR 3. Then just use that one over there. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, AMD FSR 3 frame generation. Okay, so now this is a thing for your AMD upscalings, all right? And you could turn this on, and I'm going to turn it off right now. I'm just going to leave it off and just say apply over here. If you turn it off, you'll still do the same FPS, but with lower machines, you can do a little bit more FPS, but it is, just bear in mind, it is AI created FPS. So it's not your actual FPS that you're getting, and I wouldn't be using it in a competitive game. I wouldn't be using it in Warzone in the first place. But if you're struggling and you want to use it, yet again, it's your own personal fucking preference. I can't tell you what to do here. But what I can say is that this makes your game run kind of worse sometimes. And for some people get away with it. Some people run this AMD FSR on and they run their game perfectly fine. So it's going to be your own personal preference. But for multiplayer games, I wouldn't recommend putting AMD FSR on at all. Not with a multiplayer game. Then the VRAM target scale is going to be at 80%, ladies and gentlemen. 80% always, unless you got a very low budget gaming graphics card. Then I would recommend putting this at 60 and press enter. You can type it in yourself and leave it there. Okay? Then when you get to your higher end GPUs, you're going to go to 80 over here and then press enter and leave it there. Alright? This one over here, I don't use this at all. I don't use it. I don't play around with it either. I have played around with it. It actually makes my game run a little bit weird, and this is why I don't use it. Then, texture resolution, ladies and gentlemen, depending on the GPU that you're running and the CPU that you're running, you can go with normal here, which I recommend for most people out there, and then low for low-end machines, okay? High, for me, because I have a 4070 Super, it runs perfectly fine. Then texture filtering anisotropic, I have mine high as well. Yet again, you can go to normal or low over here, but I wouldn't go with low. I would rather go with normal over here and then normal over here. You guys should be good to go, but for me, I have mine at high and I have mine at high over here. Just do not put it at ultra. You don't need it to be at ultra. You're just going to waste VRAM and waste FPS. Alright, depth of field, who in their right mind uses this, turn it the fuck off, leave it the fuck off, and fucking done. Detail quality, low. You are not going to be looking at the grass, you're going to be looking at enemies. I mean, you are not going to come into the game and be like, oh my god, the grass looks so great. No, that's not what you're fucking doing in this game. You are playing the game to shoot people in their face and win games, and have a competitive experience, and just overall have a fun time fucking people up. Go with low here. This is competitive settings that I'm giving you, ladies and gentlemen, and the best settings you can use right now for Season 1 Reloaded. Right, particle resolution, very low. Bullet impacts, leave this on. It does not have a huge impact on your CPU and your GPU and your RAM and your solid state drive or whatever the case might be. Just put it on, you should be good to go. It doesn't impact your game at all. Alright, then the effects does impact your game. I would turn it off because you can still see the effects even though they're off in the settings over here. You still see the effects. Shader quality, ladies and gentlemen, just don't get this gimmick thing. Please don't. You do not need to put this at medium. You do not need to put this at high. You can leave it at low. Because on the right hand side, yet again, like I said, just use your eyeballs that's in your fucking socket of your fucking face right now and put it here, right? So if you put it high, then you can see water, okay, on the floor and now the reflections. I mean, that's reflecting, right? Okay, so here it's not reflecting. You don't need to see that. You're not going to run around looking at the floor of reflections. You're not doing that. You're running around trying to kill people, okay? So leave it the fuck at low and don't let it eat your VRAM and don't let it eat your FPS. Alright, on-demand texture streaming, minimal over here. This one over here is normal for all machines out there. Doesn't matter if you're running a low-end machine, medium-end machine, high-end machine, launching fucking physical nukes to different countries. I don't give a fuck. Leave it at normal for all GPUs. Alright. shadow and lighting plays a huge impact on your FPS and a huge impact on how your game's going to perform. Right, so the higher you put this, the worse your game's going to run. So shader quality, very low. Yet again, ladies and gentlemen, I'm running a 4070 Super, which is not the best GPU, but it is a powerhouse of a GPU. And look at the settings that I'm using. Alright, shadow and lighting, very low. Screen space shadows, off, always off, leave it the fuck off and done. Occlusion and screen space lighting, I don't like this. I don't use it. It's just a fuck up and it eats FPS and it makes your game run worse. Turn it the fuck off. Screen space reflections, off, always off, leave it the fuck off, and done. Static reflection quality, low, always low. There's Optimus Prime. Lovely. Anyway, so just leave this at low and done. Tessellation, environment, we're going to go with off with tessellation. Volumetric quality at low. Your physics quality off. My fucking god. These two options needs to go out of this game. I swear to God, because it has no impact on how the game looks. But it has a huge impact on how your game performs. So now, if you turn this to Ultra, your game's going to run like dog shit. Okay? You're going to start losing FPS. But there's no physical difference between Ultra and this being at off completely. Right? But you can go with low here if you have a very decent machine and you know you have one. But yet again, like I said, don't use it. Turn it the fuck off. Leave this the fuck off as well. Water quality. Ladies and gentlemen, like honest to fucking God, when you swim in the water, there is no visual difference between these. And I don't use it. That's why I don't use water, caustics, wave wetness, or all. I leave it at off and always at off and done. Apply these settings if you haven't done so already, ladies and gentlemen. And then from here, you're going to go to the view tab. Alright, the view is your own personal preference, so one thing that I do recommend you go ahead and do is this over here. World motion blur, turn off. Weapon motion blur, turn off. It's your own personal preference, so what you're going to do here, inverted flash is a very important option I recommend you go ahead and turn on and take advantage of right now for Season 1 Reloaded. If you haven't done this already, I've done this in most of my videos where I turn this on. It makes the screen go black when you get a flashbang hit or a concussion grenade or whatever the case might be. It goes black, okay, instead of white and blinding you completely. Turn it on and leave it the fuck on and done. Alright, then yeah, field of view is your own personal preference, ladies and gentlemen. Literally, your own personal preference. I have mine at 120, so I can actually see more on my left and right hand side. And that's 100, that's 80, that's 60. Just use your eyeballs that you were born with. Use them. I mean, you can use them to do these settings. Use your eyeballs. Alright, from here, we're going to go to the most important step. But first of all, I just want to go to interface over here. Come over here where it says telemetry and turn this all on like this. So you can actually see your FPS, what you're doing, and what your machine is currently doing while you are playing the game. I highly recommend turning this on, ladies and gentlemen. This over here. And then these, just leave them on. It's very, very important for you to see these things happening while you are playing your game. Alright, let me show you the most important step you're going to need to select inside here and to do for this settings to apply to your game. Alright, is this over here. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so once you're done with all of those things, you're going to come to this over here where it says Restart Shader Preloading. You're going to click on this and you're going to click on Restart. Once you clicked Restart, ladies and gentlemen, just press escape, 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 and then you can just click on Quit to Desktop. Then, ladies and gentlemen, bear in mind, before you skip out of my video, once you launch your game through Steam or Battle.net or Xbox Game Pass or wherever you're playing this game from, once you click on Quit to Desktop and you relaunch your game, at the top left corner it's going to say installing shaders, and it's going to then reinstall the shaders to your game and apply the settings I just showed you to use, and the settings that you are personally using right now, your own personal preference. Remember, I can only show you settings. It's your choice of what to use for your machine. Now, that's going to install on the top left corner over here. Wait till 100%. Once it's done, jump into the game, see how the game runs. If it runs any better, ladies and gentlemen, smash that motherfucking like button. Leave a comment down below. Subscribe to the new channel if you're new here. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, I hope this helped you. Smash that like button. Leave a comment down below. Subscribe to the new channel if you're new here. And as always, just here to help the Call of Duty community as best I can. And I'm out. Peace.